This is our inaugural meeting. I hope we will have more inaugural meetings, maybe even more often than annual, and we will be able to report progress as we go. Mr. Jefferson is very important to us. We want to maintain that tradition, not only his legacy, but the University of Virginia and all that it has stood for so many years. These are the four pillars of the Jefferson Council. We established this organization a little less than a year ago. The infamous sign on the lawn was sort of the catalyst that caused us to come together and say there's stuff happening that we think we need to do something about. We embarked on a strategy of putting together an organization. We did not intend for this to be an alternative alumni association, but we intended this organization to represent alumni that have a concern about the direction of the university. We decided, though, that we could not address and affect everything that we were concerned about, so we focused on four things. They're not necessarily in this order, but we want to promote an academic environment based on open dialogue and civil discourse throughout the university. That is probably our most important one. If you do that, everything else will follow. But we want to preserve the Jefferson legacy. We are fine with being honest about Mr. Jefferson's pitfalls, but at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, we think Mr. Jefferson was an outstanding man that did some outstanding things that formed this country and formed this university, and for that we wish to forever be thankful. We want to preserve the appearance of the lawn. We do not think any sign should be on the lawn doors. We certainly don't think anything should be on the lawn doors that uses such raw obscenities as were on the lawn doors a year ago. They're not there now. Knock on wood. We will continue to address that. And very important to us, and one that we are perhaps suffering our worst setbacks, is to support and rejuvenate the honor system. That was for everybody in this room that attended the university. I suspect most of us in this room. That was core to what we took away from here. I have spent my life in business as a small businessman, an entrepreneur, and to this day, because of my experience with the honor system, I assume that you are honest until you prove to me the contrary. My word is my bond. My handshake will always work, and I expect that of other people. That has made my life a lot more fun and a lot simpler. I think we have lost that on this generation. We need to re-explain to them what the value of a community of trust is, and then the responsibility incumbent upon them to enforce a community of trust. It is with great regret, that we acknowledge that our administrations, perhaps for the past 15 years, maybe even longer, have not made a rigorous and aggressive effort to orient incoming students and incoming faculty to the benefits of a community of trust and the honor system. Many of us in this room, I remember well the orientation that we've got, or we received way back when. I remember the most classic comment from Charlie Whitbread was to say when we were in U-Haul being oriented that look to your left and look to your right, and if either one of those persons lie, cheat, or steal, they will not be here. And oh, by the way, they're looking left and right too. I'm not sure we can bring that back in full fold. The recent referendum basically eviscerated the honor system on the basis of facts that were actually not true. The honor system has not been a racist honor system as was touted by the parties that put forth the referendum. Nonetheless, it passed, and now we have to figure out what to do to strengthen what we've got and build it back. So that's what we stand for. We will talk about some other things today that are the reason we want to talk to you about them is to bring forth some things that are happening and then tie them into how they affect these four pillars. And I think there's about 5 of us that will talk to you today about that during the 3 to 5 period. We'll take some questions then. I would ask you to hold your questions until the end, and then we'll have time for anybody and everybody to ask any question they want of any of us that present. At 5:30, we will break for cocktails. You can't have a party at UVA without a cocktail. At about 6:15, Professor Ken Elzinga will talk to us about his experiences at the university, and particularly his experiences now with the social justice agenda being imposed upon him and every other professor. We were hopeful that that would be outside under the tent. The weather gods have decided that it will not be under the tent, so we're going to jury rig it over here. And Ken is a little concerned about speaking to people that are all standing up and whether he can get any attention. I have sworn that Ken will be able to hear a pin drop when he talks for people to hear what Ken Elzinga has to say. We will then reconvene for dinner at 7, and we have our keynote speaker will join us at the podium at 8 o'clock. Jason Mier, our Attorney General. He will speak for about 20 minutes, and then we have some questions that I have fielded from those of you already to pose to the Attorney General to answer. And that will be our evening. I think I will have one special guest that will join us by video, and we will see if that works somewhere during the dinner hour. This afternoon will be as informal as you folks want to make it in terms of the room. If you need to get up and go anywhere, restrooms are right in the middle hallway. If you need water or something like that, please get up. We will go with the flow. We have a tight schedule. I'm going to do everything I can to keep people on schedule, including telling people the hook is out, and that's the way we're going to go. I have a number of parties that are here that I would like to sort of acknowledge that have been part and parcel of putting this together. My colleagues at the Jefferson Council, our executive committee, we meet once a month by Zoom and whenever else we need to by email and the like, so I thank you to all of my colleagues. But here on the grounds, the Young Americans for Freedom, College Republicans, the New Enlightenment Women, Turning Point, Future Medical Professionals for Life, the Jefferson Independent, and we have representation from about 4 of the fraternities. I think KA, ZAIT, SAE, and DU. I think we got all the good ones, right? We are joined by folks representing our counterparts at W&L, at Washington and Lee, and VMI. So we thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll take whatever good things we do today back to your organizations and feed us ideas back. And then FIRE, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Education. They are here. Connor Murnane will talk to us. We thank you all. With that, Buddy Weber, you get to go first, buddy.